72-year-old Raymond Carter was a retired federal judge who enjoyed spending his retirement days peacefully. Every morning, he would take a walk through Oak Ridge, a quiet neighborhood known for its greenery and friendly atmosphere. The small-town charm always made Raymond feel safe and at ease. But on that particular Wednesday morning, his walk was unexpectedly interrupted. As Raymond passed by an old antique shop, he heard a faint cry. At first, he thought he might be mistaken, but the sound persisted, making him stop and listen closely. Turning his head toward a narrow alley, he saw a young woman struggling with two men. One of them was tugging at her purse, while the other tried to snatch her phone from her pocket. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" Raymond shouted in a firm voice. The men turned to look at him, momentarily hesitating. Although Raymond was older, his broad frame and steady demeanor made them wary. When he stepped forward, lifting his walking cane threateningly, the men suddenly bolted and disappeared around the corner. "Cowards," Raymond muttered under his breath as he watched them flee. Chasing them was pointless. He was no longer as fast as he used to be, and he knew better than to risk an injury. Instead, he turned his attention to the young woman, who stood trembling, clutching the torn strap of her purse. "Are you all right?" Raymond asked in a calm, reassuring tone. I think so," she stammered, her voice shaky. "They took everything." At that moment, a police car appeared at the end of the street, its sirens wailing. The vehicle screeched to a stop, and a young officer, David Hensley, stepped out with a stern expression. His hand rested on his holstered gun as he approached the scene. "Hands up! Step away from her!" Hensley barked at Raymond. Raymond froze, clearly taken aback. "Officer, this is a misunderstanding. I was helping her." "Do as I say," Hensley snapped. The young woman tried to intervene. "No, officer, you don't understand. He saved me." "We'll sort that out later, ma'am," Hensley said dismissively. Raymond calmly raised his hands. As a seasoned judge, he knew not to escalate the situation. "Listen to me, officer," he began, his voice measured. Hensley let out a sarcastic laugh. "Don't tell me you chased off the thieves." "That's exactly what I did," Raymond replied evenly. "You think I'm an idiot?" Hensley shot back, his voice growing angrier as he stepped closer, his hand inching toward his weapon. A small crowd had gathered by now, some pulling out their phones to record the scene. A young man in the crowd shouted, "Let him talk, officer!" But Hensley ignored him. Raymond took a deep breath. "Before you do something you'll regret, I'm going to reach into my pocket," he said. "Don't move," Hensley barked, raising his gun slightly. With deliberate care, Raymond reached into his jacket and pulled out a small leather case. Opening it, he held up a shining gold badge that gleamed in the sunlight. "Take a good look, Officer Hensley," Raymond said in a steady voice. "I'm Raymond Carter, retired federal judge. You're making a grave mistake." Hensley's face turned pale as he read the badge. The murmurs in the crowd grew louder. The young woman stepped forward with renewed confidence. "He's telling the truth. He stopped those men and saved me." At that moment, a senior officer arrived in a second patrol car. Stepping out, he assessed the situation with a sharp eye. "What's going on here?" the officer demanded. Raymond calmly explained the events, handing over his badge for confirmation. The senior officer's expression darkened as he turned to Hensley. "Is this true, Hensley?" Hensley nodded, his gaze fixed on the ground. "Yes, sir." Shaking his head, the senior officer confiscated Hensley's gun and badge. "Officer Hensley, you're placed on administrative leave effective immediately." The crowd erupted into applause. The young woman turned to Raymond with a tearful smile. "Thank you for saving me and for standing your ground." Raymond gave her a reassuring nod. Justice isn't just about the courtroom, it's about doing the right thing, wherever you are. With that, Raymond walked away, resuming his morning stroll. This time, the quiet streets of Oak Ridge were filled with a new kind of respect from those who had witnessed the incident. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and share the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more amazing stories. See you in the next one.